Okay. 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 All right. Everything is all set, so let us now begin. Good evening, everybody. This is Xenonite XC6 here, and welcome to part 15 of my Let's Play of the Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy. Oh boy, this is going to be nuts. So in the last part, we did the first part of this fifth and final trial for the first game. The first witness that we had to convince to prove that Lana Skye is innocent was former police investigator and the lunch lady, Angel Starr, also known as the Cough Up Queen. But we managed to take her down by showing her the contradictions of her testimonies. So basically, it was a little difficult, but we managed to beat Angel Starr. So in this next part tonight, actually, because it's almost 8 o'clock in the evening, in about 1 minute, we are going to be continuing on from where we left off, round 2 of this fifth trial. So moving on to the second part. I have no idea how hard the next part's going to be. I'm not sure who we're going to face off against next. I think it might be Lana, because Lana might try to convince us that she's guilty of the crime, but we'll have to wait and see. Let's get to it. The trial, day 2, trial ladder. Okay, let's review the evidence real quick. And as you can see, we've got a bit of new evidence, including the victim's shoe, the crime photo, and the parking lot floor plan. So we did pick up a couple new evidence. Now let's see, I think it's either going to be Lana Skye. Oh, and there's a chance that Jake Marshall might try to be a witness as well, but we'll see. So it's either Lana or Jake we might have to face off next in the witness stand. Okay, let's get to it. Mr. Wright?
Huh? What?
Are trials always like this with you? Like, you're swimming up from the bottom of a lake about to reach the surface. But no matter how hard you paddle, you never seem to get there.
Pretty much. Except today we're swimming in quicksand. So what happened to your sister anyway?
Apparently she got called off to the judge's chambers.
Probably something to do with that piece of cloth.
So, this is where we turn this trial around, right? Our only weapon, a tiny, insignificant piece of cloth.
I'm the one who's starting to feel tiny and insignificant, to tell the truth.
Hola, pardon. Oh, I think I know who this is. This has to be Jake.
Hola, partner.
I knew it.
They say you show a red cloth to a bull, it'll fire up its temper. That's what they told me when I was a youngin' at least.
Officer Marshall.
Thought I'd come take a look, see at how the trial's going. Looks like I'm late. They've got the home ranch locked down tighter than a fort in enemy territory. That hard to slip out, huh? What is going on over there anyway? All the police I've seen these last few days have been really on edge. Don't you got enough on your plate without worrying about other people, compadre? You could be worrying about the chief prosecutor's case in mufflers, for example.
Officer Marshall, the whole muffler thing didn't have anything to do with scarves. She wasn't even wearing a scarf.
You don't say. Now, don't that just beat all? I've seen the red breeze blow at her slender neck many a time. I saw it that day, too. She was wearing a red muffler.
What?
At the award ceremony that afternoon. Edgeworth's seen it, too, I'd reckon. What does that mean? In the photograph taken at the crime scene, she wasn't wearing a scarf.
So, Miss Starr wasn't mistaken?
Well, it's about time. Remember, partner, sometimes you gotta grab the bull by the horns. And sometimes you just gotta let that bull go where it will. Time will tell. I have a bad feeling about this.
So, what are we swimming in now, Mr. Wright?
If it's steak sauce, I could hook you up with some fine ribs. Ooh-wee.
Okay. Angel might not be mistaken, but we'll see what happens. February 23rd, 12:32 p.m., District Court, Courtroom number 9.
I'd like to resume. What's up? The judge keeps looking over at the prosecution. Is something wrong, Mr. Edgeworth? Your face is blue. Your lips are purple. You're sweating bullets. That furrowed brow, those grinding teeth, those watery eyes.
Oh no, what's going on with Edgeworth?
What's more, your eyes are unfocused. You doubled over, your back is bent. It can't be. This can't happen.
I wonder what happened to Mr. Edgeworth.
Well then, I believe it is time we continue on with this trial. During our recess, I had requested that the prosecution conduct an investigation. This is unacceptable. It seems our prosecutor is quite beside himself.
Excuse me? Knock, knock.
Who's there? Oh. What's with this guy?
Who's he?
A strange, stuffy aura seems to be filling the courtroom.
Hey, the temperature rose 5.7 degrees when that man came in.
Who on earth is he? Oh, it's you. Oh, hey. Sorry I'm late, OG. The roads were packed. It's just me. Long time no see, OG. How you been? Swim much these days? Oh, hello. No, I've been so busy. Busy, Missy, OG. My boy, you have to make time to relax. Yes, indeed.
Oh my goodness, who is he? I have never seen this guy during the whole investigation process. Uji, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Seems to be his nickname for the judge.
I'm afraid you're right. Very afraid. Sorry, but who are you?
Aha! So you're Righto, the attorney. I've heard good things about you, son.
Thanks?
So sorry about our little Worthy giving you all that trouble, eh? You know, we should all go swimming together sometime. Jolly!
Little Worthy?
Mr. Wright, you don't know the district chief of police?
He's the district chief? Oh my goodness.
Chief of police?
He's the top-ranking police officer in the entire district. Names?
Oh, that's his last name. Gant? I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right. I'll just call him Damon G.
Name's G. Damon G. Pleased to meet you, everyone. So, to what do we owe this honor today? It's been over 2 years since you last came to this courtroom, hasn't it? Well, it's Worthy here. Look at that poor fellow. I just thought I'd help out by bringing this.
Hey, that's...
My sister's muffler.
So Miss Star wasn't just seeing things. When the crime occurred, Miss Sky really was wearing that muffler.
But to think that it was stuffed into that exhaust pipe. On Little Worthy's car, no less.
What's that?
It's really quite embarrassing, even for us. What's this? It's what you call a switchblade knife. Quite perplexing. This.
Chief, what kind of outfit are you running?
Mr. Edgeworth,
How could they miss such a vital piece of evidence? If your investigators are this lax, how do you expect us to do our job?
now wait a minute, Worthy.
I've no desire to hear your excuses. I'm telling you to wait.
Or didn't you hear me?
I'm gonna save. This could get interesting.
Have a look at this document where it says person in charge of investigation. There's no mistaking that signature, is there? Miles Edgeworth?
That's not fair. On the day of the crime, I had...
Your head in the clouds because you got that award. I know how you feel. But you're the person in charge. I'll expect a written apology.
What? Are you serious? Edgeworth's getting owned. Again.
Don't be too upset. We'll find a way to clean up this mess that you made.
This is the first time I've seen Mr. Edgeworth at a loss for words.
This kind of major blunder is unlike you, Mr. Edgeworth. The court accepts this new evidence. But I'd like to ask the defense a favor first.
Yes.
Just to be sure, I'd like to take a look at the blade of this knife.
The blade, Your Honor. Well, I don't see why not.
Could you open it for me, I wonder? Could you open it up for me? I wonder.
Yes. Well, I think all you have to do is push that switch and...
If I cut my finger, Mr. Wright, I wouldn't be able to pound my gravel anymore.
Yeah, but if I cut my finger, I wouldn't be able to point it at people anymore.
Come on, just hurry up and open it. Oh, he's doing this on his own. Not doing anything. Okay. What? Don't scare me like that. It's dry blood, but the blade's broken.
I'm the one who's scared.
Look at this knife blade. The tip is broken off.
And this dark red stain. Blood?
Found at the crime scene wrapped in the defendant's muffler. Small tag attached.
This does not excuse the action actions of the police department. I would like to hear an explanation from the chief of police himself.
I'm terribly sorry, but could I ask you to testify for us about the split between the prosecutors and the police and this knife? Sure thing, not a problem. Not even a little one, really.
Oh, so we're facing off against Damon. Department in disorder.
This knife is special, but I can't say how here. Unless there's evidence to prove a connection between this knife and Goodman. That was a bad day for the department. We weren't in any shape to do an investigation. A detective was killed at the police department, see? What a mess. The time of the crime, 5:15. Scary coincidence, eh? It's not officially linked to this here case, so I can't talk much about it. There was a murder at the police department? A detective?
What in the world? There's another murder? So it wasn't just Bruce Goodman?
That's hush-hush information, OG. We haven't exactly announced it yet.
Wait a second. You said 5:15. That's the exact time that Detective Goodman was killed at the prosecutor's office.
Order. Anyway, we at the department were all flustered, as you might well assume. We're in the middle of a top secret investigation. Don't tell anyone, okay?
Oh, we're telling people. Jolly. Oh. Okay. Just make sure you put them back when you're done. Who's my brother? Anyway, let us continue.
Oh, and we're going to tell everybody about the investigation, Mr. Damon.
I think we understand the police department situation. Well, Mr. Wright?
2 detectives killed at the same time in 2 different places.
The chances of that are really slim. Scientifically speaking, of course.
I'd like to exercise my right to cross-examine the witness.
Very well. However,
keep your questions focused on the case at hand.
Okay. Let me check the evidence real quick. Okay. So this is a new piece of evidence. But this was the one that was covered with blood. Okay, I think I might need to press him first before I kind of do anything.
Excuse me, special?
How'd you come by this particular knife anywhere else?
Might that special thing be this little tag?
Oh, sorry, righto, but I can't say that now, not that.
We've established that the knife in Goodman's chest was this knife. Now why was there another knife at the scene of the crime?
That's quite a mystery. And like a mystery, it's wrapped in something. A muffler.
Unless there's evidence to prove a connection between this knife and Goodman. Let me see. 12-2. There's a small tag on the knife.
It says SL92.
What's that supposed to mean?
I'm not sure, but it reminds me of a similar code. DL6. Maybe it's a case number.
That's weird.
What?
I don't remember where, but I think I've seen something like this before. Something similar to what's written on this tag. It wasn't that long ago either.
Maybe I should check the court record again.
Hang on. Does it match this one? I'll save real quick. Let's try it. Let's try the Goodman's Note. Oh, I was right! Oh my goodness, I got it right!
Wait a second. Ah, at last, an honest-to-goodness objection.
This knife. This has to have something to do with Detective Goodman.
What do you mean? Ah, an honest-to-goodness. What do you mean from OJ? That is great.
Look at the tag on this knife. It reads SL92.
And this is important. Why?
Over here we also have a memo that was on the body of the victim.
Does make a lot of... Yeah. Yeah, I'm still in the first game.
Over here we also have a memo that was on the body of the victim.
What's this? 6 minutes. 7S. 12-2.
Your Honor, it's upside down.
Upside.
The printed name on the memo makes it look like it's right side up. But turn it around, and what do you get?
February 21st, SL9.
Oh!
Whoever wrote this note was holding the paper upside down.
Oh my goodness, I'm doing good.
SL9. That's the same thing that is written on the knife's tag. Order! Order! Well, Chief? Ah, well, I guess the cat's out of the bag. You win, right-ho?
I win? What game is this guy playing?
The knife was evidence in a case. It was stolen from the department's evidence room.
Okay, first let me save again. And it was stolen?
So this knife was stolen?
Yes, but on the day of the murder.
It was evidence, you say. Was it in fact a murder weapon?
Nice, nice, nice. Good show, little Webby. It was a murder weapon as it happens. It was evidence from a case long since solved.
So this knife was stolen on the day of the murder. And it was found in the exhaust pipe of Edgeworth's car.
Hard to think there isn't a connection there.
That was a bad day for the department. We weren't in any shape to do an investigation.
Something happened at the police department too, huh?
You got a good look in your eyes. There, right-ho, my boy, shop hungry.
So, something did happen, and why wasn't I informed?
Why weren't you informed? Well, why didn't you ask? No matter, I understand. You were busy, what with Lana's case and all.
Well, what happened? What happened at the police department that day?
I wonder if if it also is connected to the case of Lana, because if that switchblade knife was found in the exhaust pipe from Edgeworth's car, then it has to be connected to something. Someone must be trying to maybe... Oh my goodness, this could get interesting.
On the same day that a detective was killed in the prosecutor's parking lot, another detective was killed at the police department?
That's a fact. Surprising, isn't it, OG? I'm at a loss for words.
And the perpetrator? Do you have a suspect?
Well, there was a suspect. Just arrested him, in fact.
Just arrested?
That was quick. But there's still a lot of unanswered questions. Maybe you can help, Raito.
I suppose I could help, if you help me by giving me data on your case.
Oh, good one. This kid's sharp. Okay, here's the deal. I'll tell you one thing and one thing only.
Let's see. where the victim was found, how the victim was killed, when the victim died. Well, we already know it was the same time, 5:15. That was mentioned earlier. How the victim was killed.
Well, how was the detective killed?
How was he killed?
Now that's the interesting part. It was what we in the force call a stabbing with a knife. Knife? That's exactly the same as Detective Goodman.
That's the spirit. We're cooking now. But you know,
That's not the only thing that was exactly the same. What do you mean?
there were more similarities between the two cases than the case of a cause of death.
It seems like I'm going to have to press this a bit harder.
Okay, so we're on to something. Let's see, how many more do we have left? Okay, let's press him 2 more times.
5:15? But that's when Detective Goodman was killed in the prosecutor's office.
What? Funny, isn't it? A murder at the prosecutor's place and a murder at our place at the very same time.
What are the chances? Coincidence?
This is just my gut feeling. But I'd say there's a 0.001% chance of that happening.
Chief Eve Damon, please tell us more about the incident.
It's not officially linked to this here case, so I can't talk much about it.
How can you say there's no connection?
How? Because I'm the chief of police. I can't just say anything I please, righto. You understand? Try to understand, righto.
Well, if you can prove there is a connection, more power to you. Maybe there is something that ties the 2 murders together. Whatever it is, I better find it and get to the bottom of this. 2 detectives were killed at 5:15, one at the prosecutor's office, and one at the police department. That can't be a coincidence.
And that knife. What was it doing there?
I'd better check this knife out.
Let's see. Okay. So I think let's see. Okay. So, let's see. The contradiction has to be, it's not officially linked to this here case, so I can't talk much about it. What if it is somehow connected? Let's see. Okay, I'm going to try this one first. Let's see. We already know about the first one, so that's actually good. Let's see. Victim shoe? Okay, no, it's not the shoe. I thought it was the shoe. Let's see. What about the parking stop? No. Wasn't that. Let's see. The phone? Maybe Edward's knife. Let's see. Oh, I thought I was onto something. Okay. I'm just trying out every evidence first, because I pressed him enough. So let's see. It wasn't a knife. It wasn't this one. Fori did this one already, so that one won't count. was wearing another coat. Okay, I thought it was the crime photo. I had to make sure. I had to make sure if that was the crime photo. Okay, this is tricky. Okay, this has to be... What about Goodman's ID? No. Okay. I'm trying to see, because this has to be a contradiction. Maybe... The autopsy? No, it wasn't the autopsy. Okay. So it wasn't that one for this one. And I'm trying to do this as fast as I can. Let's see. Which ones haven't I tried yet? Maybe it's this again? Okay, I was making sure. I know I did say it wasn't, but you can never tell. This game has a lot of crazy things. Okay, so wasn't either of these. Oh wait, what about the... Okay. Okay, so it wasn't that one. Okay. Okay, let's try... Okay, let's try this one next. Okay, do I have to seriously press on him harder? Oh my goodness, this is tricky. I may have to try both of the knives. Let's try Edgeworth's. Okay, how about this one? Man, I was doing so well the first time around. Okay, let me just go back real quick. Two detectives were killed at 5:15, one at the prosecutor's office and one at the police department. That can't be a coincidence. Okay, the knife. This is tricky because basically okay, let me try the switchblade knife on this one. Okay, it has to go to one of these. Okay, let's try the... Let's try that one. No. This is going to be tricky. Okay, do I have to keep pressing him or something? Okay, I might have to keep pressing him or something. Okay, I can ask him about some of the other questions. Okay. Okay, so I already asked him about how the victim was killed. Let's go with where the victim was found. Maybe that can give me a clue.
So tell me, where was the victim found?
Well, I can't speak on where the corpse was found, but I can say the crime took place in the evidence room at the police department.
Okay, so the crime took place in the evidence room.
The evidence room? Wait a second. I have heard of that.
The evidence room? Didn't he mention that in his testimony just now?
This knife was evidence in a case. It was stolen from the department's evidence room.
There's a connection between the two cases.
He seemed happy, Mr. Wright.
Happy? Happy? We just got handed our ticket to go to town on this case. With the link between the two cases established, we finally have some leverage. Now we can get Damon to testify about the details.
Okay, so I guess I had to press him on that one. Oh, wait. Oh, wait. I didn't mean to press it and the music stopped.
Chief, the defense position is simply this. The connection between these two cases has already been proven.
You don't say. Well, out with it, Wright-o. What's your connection? Yes, out with it, Mr. Wright.
The connection is a place mentioned in the testimony we just heard. The knife found in the lot was stolen from the police department's evidence room. Not to mention the victim had on him the case number on the knife's evidence tag. And we also know for the detective murdered at the police department was killed in that very same evidence room.
Indeed. There do seem to be too many connections for it to be a coincidence. You two make a good pair. It took my men 2 days to find out what you deduce right here.
Chief, I request that you release your information on the victim at the police department.
See, that's the tricky part. It hasn't been announced yet and all.
Can we get the information unofficially?
Sure, why not? It's unofficial after all.
What? Really?
Who would have guessed?
I'll cooperate,
But I can't reveal the name of the victim at the department. Okay? If you're going to tell us a little, why not tell us everything?
Oh, well, case information is sticky stuff. You have to do everything properly.
Oh, well, I guess I might as well try to get what I can out of him.
Let's see. The victim's division, the victim's ID number, the victim's gender. Let's see. The victim in the parking lot was a male. I think we need to know who the victim... let's go with the victim's gender. Let's see who it is.
Okay, how about the gender of the victim?
You want to know that? Okay, a hint. Let's see. First hint. A gender that's not female.
Aha! He was a guy.
What did I tell you? The boy's sharp. Stop goofing around, Mr. Wright. This is serious business.
Sorry, Your Honor. Hey, tell it to the chief of police.
Okay, let's see. The victim's division.
Okay, well, what division was the victim stationed in?
Oh, you want to know that, do you? Do you? Haha. Criminals Affairs, Division 1. The detectives responsible for homicide cases.
Homicide? That would be the same division as Detective Gumshoe.
Detective Goodman. who was killed in the underground parking lot was homicide too.
It's almost like a serial killer was after homicide detectives.
Except this serial killing happened simultaneously, scientifically speaking.
Well, I sure hope Detective Gumshoe isn't next on the list.
Okay, there's still one more we gotta figure out. Oh, okay. Okay, the victim's ID, that's the only thing left.
Okay, how about you tell me the victim's ID number?
Sure, why not? It's not like you'll be able to tell who it is from that.
Of course not. You won't tell me their name after all.
We keep a tight lid on ID numbers, so don't go getting your hopes up. The number is 5842189. Well, that's quite long. And we have to remember these. It drives me nuts. 82. I can't do it.
You didn't even get the first number right.
Well, Mr. Wright, does this tell you anything?
The ID number of the victim at the police department. 5842189.
Okay, that's gonna be tricky. Let me save.
Actually, it does, Your Honor. It does. I think.
Meaning?
It has to be what I think it is. But what does this mean?
Well, let's hear what the defense has to say. You say the ID number of the detective who was murdered at the police department tells you something. What does it tell you?
Oh, that's it. It has to be Goodman's ID.
Witness.
What is it, Mr. Wright? You're grinning like a schoolgirl on prom night.
No, it's just, I got confused.
And this is news.
Huh?
Just come out with both guns blazing, like you always do.
The police department, the prosecutor's office. 2 places, 2 detectives murdered at one time. Actually, I happen to have a police ID number here.
Oh, is it yours?
No, Your Honor. I'm a defense attorney, remember? This is the ID number of our victim, Detective Goodman.
Shame on you, Righto. Personal IDs are top secret.
Detective Goodman's ID number is 5842189.
And this means what exactly?
Huh?
Wait, that ID number we heard from the chief earlier. That started with 82... I forgot.
You didn't even get the first number right. Again! The number the chief of police gave us was 5842189.
Wait a second, Wright. What does this
mean? That's what I want to know. The 2 ID numbers are identical. In other words, the detective killed in the police department's evidence room was Bruce Goodman. What does our witness think about that?
Oh, sharp as a tack, Righto. Sharp as a tack.
Okay, so that means Goodman was killed in the evidence room.
But wait, Detective Gumshoe is our victim. He was killed at 5:15 in the underground parking lot.
Yet a Detective Bruce Goodman was also killed at the police department, in the evidence room, at the exact same time.
That's impossible. So what we're saying is, the same person was killed at the same time, and in a completely different location?
Order. Chief, what does this mean?
No. What I want to know is, why didn't I hear about this? Yes, it's top secret, fine, but I'm the prosecutor in charge of the case.
Now, just wait a second, Worthy. No need to get all flustered.
Your Honor, the police department has made a grave error in this case.
Wait. I said wait. Or didn't you hear me?
The oversight, the grave error. Mr. Edgeworth, they're yours.
What? How? How dare?
We informed...
Oh, excuse me, I burped. Excuse me.
We informed you yesterday. I believe it was our officer Meekins who brought you the news.
Officer Meekins?
Mr. Wright, where have we heard that name before?
Him...
Excuse me, but is Mr. Edgeworth, anywhere on the premise?
Oh! So, the Chief Officer Damien sent Meekins to tell Edgeworth that the victim was killed in the evidence room. So that makes sense. Bruce Goodman was killed in the evidence room, and the officer was trying to tell Mr. Edgeworth, but Mr. Edgeworth didn't want to hear anything about it.
I'm here, sir, at the request of the chief, sir. I've got your report, sir.
Oh, Edgeworth made a big mistake.
You don't mean him.
According to Meekins, you didn't accept the report. Hard to believe.
But your officer, he told me. He said that report had nothing to do with the Lana Sky incident.
Detective Bruce Goodman, murdered in the police department evidence room.
Mr. Edgeworth, the victim's name is written right on the top of the report.
Why didn't your officer tell me?
Honestly, I'm not sure if that officer was capable of making the connection. He did seem challenged.
In any case, this is a serious error. A gross negligence of duty on your part, Worthy.
Ooh, this is so much fun. Poor Edgeworth. Yeah, for the first game anyway. Edgeworth, you've just made a big mistake. If you would have listened to Meekins, the officer, you would have got all the information you needed. Fabulous. And yes, that was my brother once again. Alright. But, oh my goodness. Besides that, oh my goodness. Edgeworth is just... Holy crap. He just screwed himself over. He did not accept Officer Meekins' most important evidence. If he would have had that, if he would have listened to Officer Meekins, then Mr. Edgeworth, Miles Edgeworth, would have gotten the evidence he needed. Oh my goodness. He is so... Damon's got it. For the second time, Edgeworth is getting owned.
But sir, you could have submitted that report this morning to the court as evidence. Then I...
No such luck this time, Worthy. Or should I say, unworthy?
Oh my goodness. Oh, he is getting serious now.
What?
Now, what was the second rule of evidence law?
Well, Mr. Wright?
Huh? Oh, well, it's,
Rule 2. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. And how is this rule relevant?
normally you submit a list of evidence to be used in court before the trial. This report wasn't on that list.
So, what does this mean?
I couldn't submit this evidence until a connection was proven in court.
And there was a connection. Oh my goodness.
The connection was just proven by Raito over here. Good job, Raito, my boy.
Huh? I was just doing my job.
No.
No!
It seems we have come to the end of this trial. I know you're going through a tough time, Worthy. What with all those rumors, you were even in the defendant's chair just this past December.
I apologize for this terrible lack of due diligence on my part.
Mr. Edgeworth,
Please, just give me one day. I'll get to the bottom of what happened, if it's the last thing I do.
you'd better get results this time. Really.
You have my profound apologies, sir.
Poor Mr. Edgeworth.
I don't think there's ever been an error this serious in the history of this court. I will grant one further day as the prosecution has requested. Will that be sufficient, Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Whatever your punishment for this is, for your sake, I hope it's not decisive. Very well. Court is adjourned.
Okay, so we get one whole day of investigations. That means we got extra time to get evidence. To be continued. Oh my goodness. Are we? Wait a minute. Are we seriously moving on to the next part of the trial now? Let me see. Or is this an investigation? Okay, it's an investigation. I thought we were going to like, wait, what? There's more? Oh, we were waiting for a day? Jeez. Okay. Well, we got an extra day to investigate. February 23rd, 2:15 p.m., Wright and Co. Law offices. Okay, we can do a bit of investigation in this part, too. Mr. Wright, so what's going on with the case anyway? I'm a little confused.
Huh? Well, let's see. What is going on? The victim, Detective Bruce Goodman, was stabbed to death after 5 p.m. on the 21st. He died in the prosecutor's parking lot and the police department's evidence room.
What's this and the evidence room part? The prosecutor's office and the police department are 30 minutes apart by car.
Well, that's what we're going to find out. Or try to, at least.
Alright, let's do it.
Glad she's in good spirits, but I'm not sure she's going to be much help with this.
Don't be so sure, Mr. Wright.
Huh?
Look, we're in this together, right? I'll prove that these thick-rimmed glasses of mine aren't just for show. Let's go. Let's go. Science awaits us. February 23rd, prosecutor's office, underground parking lot. You know, I really don't think we should worry about the police department murder. There wasn't even a body found there. Who cares?
Yeah, it was only our victim who was killed in their evidence room. No biggie.
Besides, my sister would never do such a thing. I know it.
That oil drum, was it empty?
The oil drum, kicked over by the chief prosecutor, was brimming with water. My sister erasing evidence at the crime scene. Never.
Even though she says that they don't get along, Emma really likes her sister.
That's not it at all. It's just we're both professionals at what we do, and I trust her.
Big words for a high school student. Well, whether there was blood on the floor or not, the water in that oil drum washed it all away.
Ignore the strength of my science at your own peril, Mr. Wright.
Huh? What's that grin for?
This situation calls for one thing, and that is luminol testing fluid.
Luminol?
Blood is sticky stuff, you know. You can't just wash it away with a little water. Even if you can't see it, it's still there.
But wouldn't the police have already done those tests?
Never trust anyone's eyes but your own, Mr. Wright. Just give it a try.
Me? Why do I have to do it?
I'm a minor. I can't even drink yet.
We're testing blood stains with this stuff, not drinking it.
Here, look. I'll lend you these glasses.
Huh? You had an extra pair of those things?
Ooh, really cool.
To test for a blood reaction, just spray the luminol on it. Like this, see? Press the X button to spray it on. Okay, let's find us some blood stains.
Okay, let's see. Oh. I can see your eyes shining behind those glasses. So is this a blood stain?
It's so... Ugh.
Emma, you're shaking.
It's just... This is my first time seeing real blood.
Scientific investigation in action.
Okay. Well, we definitely know that this is a blood stain. But doesn't something strike you as odd? Scientifically speaking, of course.
What's odd about this, scientifically?
The blood stain's location, the amount of blood. Is it the location? Why the blood stain's location, of course. It's elementary.
Huh? Why is it elementary? I mean, I would think that if there was a fight, you'd expect some blood stains here.
I suppose you might think that.
Come on, Mr. Wright, we're all counting on you.
There is something odd about this blood stain. But if it's not the location of the blood, then maybe it's the amount of blood that's odd.
I definitely think so. I mean, look at all the blood on the sole of the victim's shoe.
It is pretty strange. If they fought here, they'd have to have been more blood than this.
Hey, Mr. Wright. I'm gonna mark up the floor plans when we find a blood stain, okay? See? I'm pretty handy to have around, right?
Yeah. And this stuff's pretty handy too.
I saved up my allowance to buy that.
Okay, so solution used for scientific investigation finds blood traces, spray to use.
We can't be sure that the police will reveal all their evidence in court. Sometimes they fail to mention evidence that doesn't fit with their view of the case.
Then let's drag that hidden evidence out into the light of day.
Yeah. It feels like we're really investigating a crime now, doesn't it?
Guess I should give this a spray on anything suspicious.
Ha! Oh no, it's you. I wonder how that fluid of yours would react to a nice deli box.
Miss Starr!
You only trust your own eyes. Not bad, you two. This day old deli box is on the house.
Sorry, it's just that kind of lead in doesn't really got my mouth watering.
Oh great, what does she want? You certainly put me in a tight spot today.
My apologies, Miss Starr, but...
No, it's okay. It was my fault.
Oh, we know.
I witnessed everything from that security room right there. But I was afraid that wouldn't sound convincing enough, you see. I was wrong to think that. I'm sorry.
Sorry? You lied on the witness stand. That's unforgivable.
Little girl, don't forget what's important here. Even if the place I witnessed the events from was different, I still saw what I saw. I saw Chief Prosecutor Sky stab a man in cold blood, and that testimony still stands. I swear it on my honor as a detective. She stabbed Goodman.
I know this photograph has something important to tell us, but what?
So you were a detective, weren't you, Miss Starr?
Yes, it was a long time ago. Well, 2 years ago. No matter how hardened the criminal when they face me, they cough it up.
Cough it up?
They confess. They babble like babies. You know, I may seem like a demon sometimes, but I can be an angel too.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Every day I dragged the dirt out of the mouths of suspect after suspect, and before long they called me the cough-up queen.
Oh, and here I thought someone had gotten food poisoning from your lunches.
Oh, jeez.
And you were let go? Fired?
I thought that I had found my dream job when I became an investigator. And if these prim and proper prosecutors hadn't let me go, I'd still be one today. Yeah. One moment, please. I'm back. Okay, let us continue. It's all because of that case. The SL9 incident.
SL9? Wait, she doesn't mean...
Wait, Goodman's note?
What do you think about this?
The SL9 incident. It's written on that knife. And on that note, Goodman was the head detective on that case, you know.
Really?
That knife was evidence from that case, the murder weapon. It was due for transferal the very day that Goodman was killed. As I suspected, SL9 isn't over. Not yet.
Do you think you could tell us more about the SL9 incident?
The SL9 incident. It's written on that knife. That knife was evidence from the case, the murder weapon.
Could you take a look at this?
You.
Yes?
You said you wanted some hot tea, right?
No, but thanks. She didn't even look at it.
You must have to brew the leaves a long time to get rich flavor like this.
We pre-infuse the leaves with steam before brewing.
I knew it! So that's the secret to their aroma. Exquisite!
The only thing I'm smelling here is wasted time.
We can only get her to talk more about the case. Okay, let's see. She's not telling us about...
So this is the famous oil drum.
Well, no time like the present. I'll try to kick it over myself. Hiya!
That's okay. Don't cry. That Lana Sky must be one strong woman.
Here, phone. Let's see if it works.
Hey, don't touch stuff we don't need to be touching.
I can't hear anything. My ears. No, my ears. Maybe it's due to the barometric pressure.
What is she babbling about?
Hey, What did you just say?
See? You can hear just fine. The phone's broken.
Aha! A ladder!
That's a step ladder.
What's the difference? In scientific terms, please.
Okay, this is the same stepladder talk.
Look, a door. This must mean something.
I'm not sure if that doors mean anything.
No, it won't open. A mysterious lock.
I fail to see what's mysterious about it.
Mr. Wright, you need to learn to enjoy life.
Let's finish our investigation first, shall we?
This is where the cars leave the lot.
The arrow on the ground makes it look more like an entrance.
What are you talking about? It's plainly an exit.
Well, maybe it's both kind of a dual purpose.
Aha! The theory of relativity.
What?
Got to write this down. Hey, Mr. Wright. Maybe you know. Was Mr. Relativity German or was he British?
Mr. Relativity? Are you sure that was his name?
That's about as red as a sports car can get.
Yep, it's pretty red, alright. The body was found in Edgeworth's car trunk, and the lock on the trunk was broken too. So the question is, why did Miss Sky chose his car?
So what model car is it?
I think it was called a sedan or coupe, something like that.
Those are car types, Mr. Wright, not models. You're a guy, aren't you, Mr. Wright? You're supposed to know these things.
Maybe it is about time I've got my driver's license.
Mr. Wright hasn't got a driver's license? That poor boy.
B block is through there. That's where visitors park.
So Miss Starr climbed over this fence.
It seems so, yeah. That fence is 9 feet high at least.
Well, no time like the present. I think I'll give it a little try.
It's okay, don't cry. Maybe there's a Lunchland Olympics team.
That's where we found that note. 221, SL9. The SL9 incident. A case that was due for transferal the day of the murder.
And the detective in charge of the case was the victim.
I wonder what kind of case this SL9 incident thing was.
It's kind of hard to guess just knowing the case number.
This rope, is it?
Yep, they laid it in the outline of the victim's body.
So wait, the victim must have died when the killer closed the trunk on him.
You have got to be the only person I know that would come to that conclusion.
Trying to see if there's any other bloodstains or whatever.
So that's where Miss Starr saw the incident.
You can probably see quite a lot from up there. That probably means she wasn't lying when she said she saw Miss Sky stabbed him. Where's the security guard anyway?
Well, this is just something I heard. But apparently he went out to buy coffee for Miss Starr.
That woman is a force to be reckoned with. Could you take a look at this?
Okay, let me see if I can try. I mean, I've already showed her the knife.
A body with Edgeworth's knife stuck in it was found in Edgeworth's car.
I think he owes me his gratitude.
Gratitude?
Why, if I hadn't witnessed the crime?
Mr. Edgeworth would have been the suspect.
I wonder.
Still, it's strange. Why didn't our chief prosecutor have her own murder weapon ready? If you think about it, I could have taken that picture from the garden room. But even I get flustered sometimes.
So you went straight to the scene of the crime.
I rushed towards the chain link fence in an effort to stop the murder. That's when I took this photo, yes.
In other words, 5 minutes after the crime.
Those 5 minutes are the whole problem. The hole in my testimony, as it were.
5 minutes weren't the problem, Miss Starr. You lying was the problem.
Listen, little girl. I've had my testimony disregarded before, and I wasn't going to have it disregarded again. Just like that time.
That time?
Okay, hopefully that was all the evidence they needed to show her, unless there's one more. What about that call? It was when I grabbed the chief prosecutor on the shoulder. She dropped that phone on the pavement.
That's when you heard her talking about the muffler, right?
Little did I know, it was a trap. The red car's muffler and the prosecutor's red muffler.
What was Miss Sky really trying to say, I wonder?
That's something I want to figure out. What was she really trying to say? Okay, maybe she's ready to talk about it. Okay, yes, finally. That incident really opened up my eyes to the truth. We're nothing to them. Disposable.
Disposable? To who?
2 years ago, it was the biggest case I had ever handled. The police and the prosecutors were desperate for decisive evidence.
So they didn't solve it.
On the contrary, it was solved quite cleanly. The criminal was caught and executed.
Executed?
Yes, the criminal got what was coming to him. It doesn't get any clearer than that. The only problem was, they never did find decisive evidence. Not a shred.
What? But the criminal was executed, right?
Oh, the basis of evidence, of a sort. Made up evidence.
What? You mean they executed someone with fabricated evidence?
The best part came several months after the trial. Every detective involved with the case was dealt with. Some were demoted to patrolmen. Others found themselves out of a job.
And you were one of those?
Myself and one other person you know well.
Wait, could it be...
Exactly. Detective Jake Marshall. Oops, I mean, Police Department Security Detail Officer Jake Marshall. As professional detectives, we've investigated that case from every angle. Jake was particularly determined, and then it was over, and he was demoted. However, he hasn't forgotten, and neither have I.
You haven't forgotten SL9?
There was another side to that case, a hidden side. That's what we're after now. And no one up in their fancy offices can stop us.
Wait, those lunches you sell.
There's only one reason I come to sell lunches in this accursed office. I come here to meet old friends, boyfriends that can help me investigate.
Miss Starr's old boyfriends? How many does she have anyway? Just when all the detectives on SL9 have disappeared, we find new evidence.
There has to be a connection.
So, Rookie.
What?
It seems like you're serious about investigating this case.
Yes.
Then you should take this.
Salisbury steak lunch?
I know a certain guy who might help you if you tempt him with this treat. Steak lunch received from Miss Starr, excellent for putting Officer Marshall in a good mood.
Miss Starr, Officer Marshall, is he your, are you his going out? Are you going out?
Why do you want to know?
I I was just wondering what happened to him. A long time ago, when he was helping my sister do cases, he was so nice. He got along so well with my sister. It made me jealous. And he was nice to me too back then.
This would be when Officer Marshall was a detective.
But now he's so cold.
Jake and I are merely cooperating on this investigation. We're putting the past to rest, as it were. Nothing more than that.
I see. Thank you.
Officer Jake Marshall.
Okay, I think that's all the evidence we're gonna get from Angel. Okay, I guess the next place we'll head to... I guess we'll be at the detention center. Let's see how Lana's holding up.
Looks like Miss Sky is in questioning.
I hope the detectives aren't yelling at her. How did you kill him in 2 places at the same time? Can you imagine?
How's she supposed to answer that? Wait a second. Didn't Mr. Damon say they'd arrested a suspect in the police department murder?
Let's come back later.
Okay, so we might meet someone else later on. Let's go to the criminal affairs department.
Wow, everyone looks deadly serious here.
Well, there was a vicious murder of a detective down at the police department.
Yes, but the same detective was also killed at the same time in the prosecutor's lot.
Ugh, makes my head hurt.
Well, first things first. Let's go check out the police department crime scene.
Yes, you sound dead set on investigating. But don't mess up, or we could wind up dead.
I doubt anyone wants more mysteries or dead bodies around here right now. But it doesn't look like anyone's going to help us much either.
Guess we have to go here.
It's even busier here today than it was yesterday.
The detectives are running around so fast they're blurry.
I suppose it makes sense. A detective did get killed here after all.
So the evidence room, the scene of the crime. According to the pamphlet we got at the front desk, here it is.
She's like a kid at an amusement park.
Oh, a real crime scene. Let's go take a look.
Guard station. February 23rd, evidence room entrance, guard station.
What's with the decor in this place? It's very eccentric.
According to the pamphlet, this is the guard station for the evidence room.
So beyond that door is the evidence room, the scene of the crime.
It sure seems that way. Oh.
What's wrong?
It's those cactus. They're so prickly, so imposing. It's hard to think straight.
If you can't handle the cactus, stay out of the desert. What I want to know is, if this is a guard station, where's the guard?
I have a feeling I know who he is already. There's a security guard uniform hanging here.
It looks more like a costume than a uniform, honestly.
A leather jacket, leather pants, a leather... What was that called again? A punchy... A paunchy... A pinchy... I know! A poochie! Wait, maybe that wasn't it.
It's a poncho. But I think I'll keep that information to myself for the time being. It looks like there's a video feed from the evidence room here.
There's a light blinking below the monitor. It says recording. I bet we could use this computer to check on who went in and out of there.
Let's see. What else can I examine here?
This swinging door makes the place look like some kind of saloon.
But look, it's nailed shut. You can't get in that way.
Of course not. If you went in through here, the cactus would fall over. Ouch.
I'd say it'd be more of a yo myself.
Yipes. These sure are prickly. They must be the real deal.
I would think just one big one would be sufficient.
These cactus are a lot like my sister, actually.
How so?
Encased in a cold, rigid shell with spines pointing in every direction. Just like her.
I'm not so sure I see the resemblance.
It's more an attitude thing than a physical similarity. Look on the floor, a lasso.
Looks like it's set up to trap something.
A trap here? Wait, I know. Maybe someone was trying to catch a wild bull in here. But the lasso missed.
You sure have an active imagination. The evidence room is beyond that door.
Let's just walk in. It won't open.
You thought it'd be open?
I think we need some...
I gave Phoenix the wrong voice. I think we need someone's permission to go in there first.
Is there anything else I can view? Okay, maybe not. Oh, I could just use spray. Let's see. Just kind of spraying anything that might have bloodstains. I'm trying to see if there is anything serious. Okay, so I think we have to move to a different spot for now. Oh.
This place is charged with frantic energy, as always.
Please! Huh? Wasn't that...
One steak lunch, please.
Oh, it's you! Detective Gumshoe.
Now's no time for chit-chat, pal. I'm a busy man. What I really need is a steak lunch from Lunchland.
Oh, you mean one of these? Actually, it's not for sale.
Poor Gumshoe! I think I just heard the sound of his heart breaking.
Now's no time for despair. We've caught our criminal. Now we just need evidence.
The criminal?
You mean, you heard about the stabbing in the police department evidence room, right, pal?
On the same day that a detective was killed in the prosecutor's parking lot, another detective was killed at the police department.
And the perpetrator? Do you have a suspect?
Well, there was a suspect. Just arrested them, in fact. It's the biggest scandal to hit the station in ages. Everything's topsy-turvy.
But Detective Gumshoe, who was it?
Listen, pal, all I know is I need me a steak lunch pronto. Sitting around here talking isn't going to fill my belly.
Wait, don't leave!
If you want to know more, head on down to the detention center, pal. Questioning should be over, so I figure he's down there having a good cry. Later.
He ran off to the evidence room?
Well, this investigation is off to a running start. Okay, I guess I gotta go to the detention center next. Okay. Oh. Okay, no, I'm not gonna bother. Let's go here.
Still, I do feel better about things. A little. I mean, they caught the person who stabbed Detective Goodman, didn't they?
Yeah, I guess they did. Best to not go too far down the road right now. Things will just get confusing. Jeez.
What was that?
Sir, that's what I'm saying. Me, a perpetrator? I'd say I was the perpetrator against, sir. That's what I'd say.
Meekins?
Why is he in the detention center?
Oh, hi. Greetings, sir.
Wait, I know who you are.
Excuse me, but is Mr. Edgeworth, anywhere on the premise? I'm here, sir, at the request of the chief, sir. I've got your report, sir.
Officer Meekins, so you're a guard here at the detention center?
No, sir. I'm not, sir. I'm a little lost patrolman, like a little lost lamb, sir.
Oh, I get it. You're here to deliver a report.
No, sir. How should I say this? Wait, he isn't. Is he? You, Officer Meekins, you didn't, did you? Perpetrator Officer Meekins reporting, sir.
What? What?
Now this is an unexpected turn of events. Sir, I'm a patrolman with General Affairs, sir. Ow, I can hear you fine, Officer Meekins. I had some business that day, sir, and so I went to the evidence room, sir. The guard station in front of the room was empty, sir.
So normally there's a guard at the evidence room.
That's right, sir, because evidence is kept in the evidence room, sir. Now, the security officer was none other than Officer Marshall. Marshall? Then, sir, I happened to glance at the security room monitor. That's when I saw him, sir. A suspicious person in the evidence room. A suspicious person, sir. A suspicious person. Yo! What the heck is this guy doing?
So what happened then?
After that, sir, everything went white. I saw red. I blacked out. And when I came to, I was here in the detention center.
Does Marshall have something to do with this case? I mean... Okay, so far Marshall could still be a suspect to the death of Bruce Goodman.
How long were you out? Days?
Might I ask, what happened to your hand?
Sir, there was no one to bandage me, sir. So I did what I could to wrap it up, sir. A bandage on his hand. Just like Miss Sky.
Yet another similarity between this case and the one at the prosecutor's office.
First things first, tell us how you hurt your hand. About your hand, did that happen during the course of the crime? Well, you see, sir,
Don't you think you should just confess?
But but there was nothing I could do. Nothing you could do? Sir, to tell the truth, sir, when it happened, when the detective pointed that knife at me, I just hollered, sir. And the next thing I knew, I was unconscious. The next thing you knew, you were... Huh? Then, when I opened my eyes, I was alone in the evidence room, sir. All alone. Alone because Detective Goodman had disappeared.
What?
Then, when I looked down, I was gushing blood from my hands, sir. Oh, the shock! Oh, the sorrow, sir! Can you imagine how I felt? The victim's body disappeared.
That's some story.
I don't mean to pry, but you are the perpetrator, correct? You killed Detective Bruce Goodman in the evidence room, right? Sir, please don't look at me with those sad puppy dog eyes, sir. If you have to label me as a perpetrator or victim, sir, then label me victim. I would, but you happen to be in detention, and alive and well at that. Yes, well, that's true, sir. I suppose you could say that. Did you know the victim, Detective Goodman? Well, sir, if I had to label him as a stranger or a total stranger, then I say he learns heavily on the total stranger side. So you did know him? Sir, I work in a tiny department devoid of light or other creature comforts. I don't know any detectives.
So if he was a total stranger, why did you stab him?
Sir, I had no intention of killing him, sir. None. Nor do I have any recollection of killing him, sir. At least someone around here is more confused than I am.
Maybe if I presented the SL9.
Officer Meekins, could you take a look at this? I'm sorry, sir. Really sorry, but I have no idea what that is. Maybe you should ask Mr. Edgeworth, sir.
He's passing the buck, Mr. Wright.
It takes a special kind of man to pass the buck to Edgeworth. knife, sir. It's okay, I just wanted to... That's it, sir. Last night, sir. That's the one. I was an apple, sir, in my dream, sir. And I was being peeled.
On second thought, you don't have to look at the knife.
He's overreacting to the knife. But I guess he's been through a lot.
Wow, my mouth is watering. I can almost hear the sound of steak frying on the grill.
No doubt it's all cold and tough by now.
No, I'm sure it's delicious. Miss Starr poured her heart into making this.
So as long as she didn't put any of her organs in there. Let's see. Ingredients. Meat.
She must mean beef. She probably just wrote it generically.
Yeah, let's hope so.
Of course, as a scientist, I have to check what additives she used.
Go to town.
Huh? It says here, hours of sweat and labor.
So that's why the sauce is so salty. Hey, why do you have that? That's from the day it was taken at the prosecutor's office.
The day that Detective Goodman's body was found in the trunk.
So this means I'm a free man, innocent. If this is a dream, sir, then I hope I never wake up. If this is a dream, you'd better wake up right now.
Okay. Maybe if I show him Goodman's ID?
Do you think you could take a look at this?
Hey, that's it, sir. That's it.
That's what?
My head was blank until this very moment. But sir, now I remember, sir. You mean you remember what happened? Correct! That car was the cause of it all.
This ID card?
Exactly, sir. That's exactly it. Nothing could be more exact, sir. Nothing. I'd better pry into this one a little deeper. Can you tell me what it is you do remember? Well, sir, you might say I'm a lost little patrolman. A lost little lamb, if you will. I didn't know Mr. Detective Goodman, who was in the evidence room. And that's why you thought he looked suspicious? Sir, I entered the evidence room and asked the man to show me his ID card.
Well, that sounds pretty much by the book so far.
That's right, sir. That's what I've been trying to tell you. So you asked Detective Goodman to show his ID card. What did he do? That's the thing. Suddenly he pointed a knife at me.
What?
Sir, I assure you, I was as flustered as you are right now. So I whooped and leaped at him. Detective Goodman pointed a knife at him? Do undo the others before they do undo you. My own father's words, sir.
What happened then?
Well, my eyes, sir. Everything went white. When I awoke, I was here. Right.
So, Officer Meekins, why was it that they arrested you?
What do you mean, Emma?
Let's look at what we know. Now, Officer Meekins didn't know Detective Goodman. And the victim, whom he met at the scene of the crime, didn't show his ID card.
In other words, we have no way of knowing if the victim was really the victim.
And if this body just disappeared from the evidence room, we don't even know if anyone actually died.
That's it, sir. That's what I wanted to say. That is, I did say something along those lines.
Huh? But you still ended up here?
They told me that it had to be him, sir. On that day, at that time. Detective Goodman was definitely in the evidence room. That's what they said. But you don't remember the events clearly. No, but the videotape is quite clear.
Huh? Videotape?
From the security camera. The crime I swore to stamp out. It's there, it's me, it's on tape.
And you waited until now to tell us this?
I'm sorry, really sorry, sir. I'll hand over my badge. I don't deserve it. No thanks. I have my own. Well, guess we better go check out the crime scene.
Okay.
Hey, Mr. Wright, look who's standing at the chief of detectives desk.
It's Police Chief Damon.
And you're sure this is all, You know what it means if there is anything missing.
Sir, I'm sure it's most likely totally perfect. We checked all of his drawers, lockers, garbage cans, bags, coat pockets, hats. Under his seat cushion, behind his computer monitor, inside his personal coffee machine.
I see. Well, if anything does turn up, you call me right away, do you?
Yes, sir. We'll score the place again, sir. The chief of detectives looks a little flustered.
Oh, right-o, my boy. How you been? Swim much?
Oh, ho, ho. Chief Nat. Or Gant. We'll just call you Damon. Chief Damon reporting for duty, sir.
Why are you saluting him, Mr. Wright?
Is Edgeworth going to be okay?
Oh, Worthy? Oh, you know, they're doing a little inquiry community with him.
Sounds like an inquisition.
Yep, well, they had no end of trouble with the boy since last year.
You mean the incident on Gourd Lake?
It doesn't look good having a top prosecutor sit in the defendant's seat, does it? And you got someone else found guilty in that case, right-o?
Von Karma.
A legend he was, undefeated in his 40-year career. But in court you fixed it, so he was caught for forging evidence.
Wait, I didn't do anything wrong. He did forge evidence.
In any case, the prosecutor's office is in a bit of turmoil, you might say. Why'd they do just about anything to restore their reputation? Now, depending on what that inquiry committee decides, it could be bad for Worthy.
What?
It's downright odd, I tell you. The detective getting killed on their turf too, I mean.
There being the prosecutors, I assume.
Scientifically speaking, it's impossible.
Yes, but that's what the evidence is saying. Goodman was stabbed in 2 locations at the same time. That's what it says.
What evidence is this?
Now, Righto, I can't give away all our secrets just like that. And this is in particular. Well, it's a little sensitive, and I can't talk about it.
I wasn't expecting much anyway.
You know, one thing I hate most of all is hiding stuff. Secrets. Can't stand them. But you know, it's a full-time job. Just keeping the chief of detectives trap shut.
He was the one you were picking on earlier.
Okay, let me save first, because I want to make sure I save my progress.
Huh? You saw that? Whoops.
I wonder what it was that he wanted the chief of detectives to do.
Let's see if we can kind of discreetly ask him. That guy who can't sit still. Does he mean Detective Gumshoe?
Either him or the Dancing Blue Badger.
Okay, so I have to ask Gumshoe about that one. Oh. I want to see basically if we can get him to spill something. Okay, so he's not gonna budge. I guess I could go to the guard station again. Nothing? Oh, wait. There's one place I haven't visited yet. Yeah, I haven't visited this room yet.
Well, this place is as classy today as it was yesterday.
And I'm sure it'll still be just as classy tomorrow, Emma. Incidentally, Edgeworth's not here.
I'm sure he's off doing important investigations.
I hope that's what he's doing. I guess we'll have to come back.
Okay.
Well, where should we begin?
Oh, well, isn't it obvious? We should begin with that, that thing.
The mystery of the victim? I guess. How could one man, Detective Goodman, be killed in two places simultaneously?
Oh, well, you see.
We should go to the police department. The evidence room, was it?
I'm not being very useful here, am I?
No, you're being very helpful.
Poor Mr. Edgeworth.
I know you're going through a tough time, Worthy. What with all those rumors, you were even in the defendant's chair just this past December.
There was that business with him not reading that officer's report.
About the killing at the police department, right? The chief of police was right about that, but I can't help but think someone at the police department doesn't like Edgeworth. This is getting a little tricky. The Blue Badger.
The Blue Badger is still living around today.
Let's give him the benefit of the doubt and say he's dancing. Speaking of dancing, the whole police department has been dancing around like crazy since yesterday.
Can I take out his batteries? I just can't help but feel he's going to do something naughty.
Look, the patrolman is saluting that other guy. He must be a detective. Answer me, how many figures do you see? I'm sorry, I don't know. Well, that's 20 for the left, but nowhere near that for the right.
That wasn't a salute. It's an eye test.
They make a good pair.
Oh wait, I think I might have to go back. Well, actually, I'll save first.
I'll save.
I know, this episode is going to be a very long episode. Okay, let's just look at the security cameras again. Oh, no, I didn't mean to move.
It looks like there's a video feed from the evidence room here.
Still nothing? Okay, I'm clearly lost. I don't know what I have to do next. If only I can get... Well, that's only if I can find Gumshoe or whoever.
He won such a prestigious award. Why would he just leave it on the couch?
Yeah, you'd think he'd want to show this thing off more than that giant steel samurai. Then again, Edgeworth has always been like that.
Really? Hey, I should write this down. Tell me what he was like as a kid.
Back in elementary school, he won awards for all kinds of things. Speech contests, essays, playing the flute, golf tournaments.
That doesn't exactly sound like typical elementary school stuff.
But he always hated receiving awards. He'd make some smart remark like,
I know the path I walked. No one else needs to tell me.
That's how he always been.
Kinda gets under your skin, doesn't it?
I thought Edgeworth wasn't good with heights.
Okay, let's see.
Work desk is quite tidy as one might expect.
Maybe I'll take that name plaque as a souvenir.
Don't. He'll sue you.
I'm just trying to look through every last piece of evidence. I also have the spraying thing too. So I think I might want to use that too. Because that could lead to some clues. Let me use it. Spray. I'm just doing this just in case if there are any evidence that I miss. Because this could really help us find any bloodstains. Like I said, I'm really just trying to see if there's any evidence at all somewhere around here. And I'll be wrapping up this episode soon. Because I know I don't normally take too long in this video, but like I said, I'm trying to do much with the investigation. So I'm going to keep this going for a little while longer, but then after that I'm going to wrap it up. Okay. I don't think there's any other evidence. Like, I don't think there's any other clues I can find here, basically.
So this is the famous divider.
It sure helped us knock a hole in that testimony today. Come to think of it, this divider helped our case more than the actual witness.
The great divider. A chip off the old parking block.
It's just a wall, scientifically speaking.
Yeah, Angel doesn't have anything else to talk about, I don't think. Now that I know exactly. Now that I think about, Mika and Lana do have the same cuts, basically, with the knife. I still think that Marshall is the possible culprit in this case.
Oh, sorry you had to see that.
Oh, what exactly did the chief of police want you to do?
Well, see over there? That's Goodman's desk. He wanted me to check it for anything that might be a clue. They took away every last piece of garbage in the trash can.
So nothing belonging to Detective Goodman is still here.
Of course not. Well, except for this.
What? You kept something?
Sure, why not? It's not important. He didn't even finish writing it. It's a lost item report, but it's only half complete.
A lost item? Did Detective Goodman lose something?
The date on it is February 21st. Better make a note of that just in case.
A half-written document dated February 21st can only be submitted to the chief of police.
I should really get back to investigating the police department crime scene.
Hold on. Before I investigate that, let me just present this. Can I not present this one? Oh. I was wondering, could you take a look at this? Oh, jeez. Okay, I thought... I was just checking. Okay, let's head back to the guard station. Oh, man. I'm waiting for something to happen here, and nothing has happened. Maybe if I talk with maybe... Let me see. Okay, I'm just making sure that I talk with a few people. Let's see. Okay, this is really starting to get... Okay. Wait a minute. Wait. I wonder.
There's a small attack on the knife.
It says SL92.
What's that supposed to mean?
Not sure, but it reminds me of a similar code. DL6. Maybe it's a case number.
That's weird.
What?
I don't remember where, but I think I've seen something like this before.
Okay, that was talked about in the trial. Oh my goodness, where am I supposed to go? Hang on. Let me present that again. You'll give that to Jake like I asked, won't you?
You and...
Okay, we already get it. They are not going out. Okay, but... what am I supposed to do? I pretty much have... Let's see. Okay. What am I missing? Oh, wait. Let me do something. I am just spraying everything down. I should just spray everything down until I find something. Maybe that's what I need to do. So let me go back to the guard station and spray everything. Let's see. There's got to be something around here. There's blood stain on the cactus. Whoa! We got a reaction.
There's clearly blood around the spines here. This room's pretty messy. Someone must have tripped over something and planted their head right in the spines.
I think that might be more painful than being murdered.
Wait, is there more blood stains? I gotta see, because there has to be another blood stain thing. Maybe on one of the clothes? Okay. there's blood on a cactus. Maybe there's one on... This is so difficult. Let's see. But it feels like I'm getting closer. Oh my goodness. I hope I don't have to look up a video to kind of see where I need to look, because so far I've been doing pretty well doing this without any help. Permission to enter.
Actually, I was wondering if I could ask you a favor.
Well, I never thought the day would come when Righto asked me for help.
I was wondering if we could investigate the evidence room.
Now, Righto.
Actually, I'm sorry. I don't need to investigate after all.
Righto, please. Do I look like a selfish man? Huh? Heck, if anyone asks me, sir, can I borrow $50? I give them $50, no problem. So go ahead, investigate that room to your heart's content. Knock yourself out.
It just goes to show you, you never know until you ask.
And for you here, you can borrow this.
Hey, this is a detective's ID card, isn't it?
That's a special card for guests, so don't lose it.
Yes, sir. It's an honor.
You just run along and do your best now. Later, folks.
It looks pretty cool on my label, doesn't it? Just think, a real ID.
You seem happy.
Yes, sir, because, sir, we get to go into the evidence room now, sir.
I think this place is a bad influence on the girl.
Okay, so freaking finally I can go back and investigate the evidence room. Okay. What? Okay, I guess I had to put this in.
The evidence room is beyond that door.
And we have the ID card from Chief Damon. Let's just walk in. It won't open.
Ha! The card reader is turned off, see?
What is that security guard thinking?
Howdy, partners.
Well, well, what's made my Bambina's sky so gray? Officer Marshall! Why does it have to be him? What's that? Why does it have to be him? Look for. As you may have surmised, this here's my salute.
We're here to investigate the crime scene.
Yee-haw! That card you got there on your chest. That's better than a sheriff's badge in these parts.
Yeehaw?
Well, what are you standing there for? Get along, little doggies. Crime scene's awaiting. Looks like the card reader's on again. While we're here, I was wondering if we could ask you some questions. Sorry, cowboy, but I got no mind to tangle with you, hombres. You're busy, then? Did I say that? I only said I didn't wish to speak with you. Actually, you said you had no mind to tangle with us, hombres.
I was wondering if we could talk to you.
Sorry, Bambina, but I'm off to roam the lands like a tumbleweed on the wide prairie. Like a gunslinger loading his 6-shooter. I say a little prayer.
What was that all about, Mr. Wright?
I think he was just too hungry to talk.
You're just saying that because his stomach was growling. You have no idea what he was talking about either.
Well, in any case, we need to get cracking on this investigation pronto.
Oh, I think I know.
That smell. Reminds me of Texas.
So, Officer Marshall, you're from Texas?
No, I just saw a special on television the other day. Is this from my baby?
Yeah, Miss Starr.
What's this?
What? What's wrong?
Fillet steak lunch. I see.
I don't see. I wonder what it means.
Steak lunch given to Officer Marshall.
All right, Bambina, you win. He's eaten all this good thing. Anything. Finally, it seems like...
He's willing to talk. Officer Marshall, you're in charge of security for the evidence room, right?
You got good eyes, partner. It's an easy job, and I'm grateful for it. Actually, Officer Meekins at the detention center told us. That poor little doggy. Poor guy. I keep getting his name wrong and calling him Meekly. He told us something. He said that when the stabbing occurred, you weren't at your station. Well, maybe I shouldn't be telling you this, but since I got demoted from detective 2 years ago, well, it might not look it, but I lost my fire for the job, you know.
So, what were you doing around 5:15 when the murder took place?
Well, I reckon I was galloping down the highway on the back of my steed, Zippy.
Note, he was riding down the highway on his horse named Zippy.
There's no need for people here anyhow. These newfangled machines do a bang-up job of keeping an eye on the place. You mean the security camera system? I don't take to machines much. Kind of like the stewed broccoli. They sneak in to your steak, you know.
Miss Starr told us something. She said that you were a detective until 2 years ago.
It was always my dream to be a rawhide wrangler on the scene of the crime. That's all gone now, like a drinking hole in a prairie fire.
You're still investigating the SL9 incident with Miss Starr, aren't you?
That was my case. It's all solved on the record books, but it smells like a bad game of poker. I can't let it go. That's all there is to it.
What kind of case was it anyway? We've heard the name so many times, but no one tells us what actually happened.
There are some things you're better off not knowing, Bambina. Anyway, that case is officially dead as of 2 days ago. 2 days ago? The day of our case? That's right. The evidence transferals. Edgeworth was talking about the transferals too. I know what maybe 2 of the machines in here do.
Only 2 of them? There must be a dozen.
Like I said, Bambina, me and machines, well...
You're welcome.
Like them... I like them about as much as I like stewed cauliflower with my steaks. The easiest ones to understand are these here security cameras. Those are the ones that Officer Meekins mentioned. If nothing happens, the tapes are automatically erased every few hours.
And Officer Meekins and Detective Goodman are they on one of those tapes?
I reckon they might be. You're the security guard, and you reckon? One more thing. When you go into the evidence room, you need an ID card. Thus the card reader by the door. The card reader leaves a record of every ID card that passes through. So this is the ID card record.
Hey, I've seen that somewhere before.
Sorry, Bambina, I can't show you more than that.
Huh?
I haven't heard whether this is related to the case yet.
Mr. Wright, I saw a number on that record just now. I've seen that number before.
Maybe there's some way I can prove that record is tied to the stabbing. Sorry, but could you explain what this whole transferal thing is about? We keep only evidence from solved cases in this room. They've kept here under the presiding detective's supervision for 2 years, so we can reinvestigate them if it turns out there was a mistake, see? So what happens to the evidence after 2 years? It goes to sleep forever in the underground vault of the county sheriff's department. That's what we call transfero. We do it every February.
I see now.
Transfero is like a funeral for old cases. 2 years after a case is solved, it's closed forever. Dead. Never to be reopened again. Never to be reinvestigated. And that happened to SL9 2 days ago.
This is the victim's ID card.
Ah, the one that was on the ground in the parking lot.
The number on this is 5842189.
Officer Marshall, show us that ID card record again.
Look, the fourth number. It's a perfect match. Oh wait, I probably give Emma the wrong voice.
It's a perfect match, Phoenix. It's a perfect match. And why were you reading my lines? How dare you?
It was used at 5:14, right before the stabbing.
What's more, there's only one of them cards in the world.
So when the incident occurred, Detective Goodman was in the evidence room.
But wait, what did Officer Meekins say?
Sir, I entered the evidence room and asked the man to display his ID card.
So you asked Detective Goodman to show his ID card.
Hang on. Sorry about that. Let's continue.
So he asked Detective Gumshoe to show his Goodman to show his ID card. What did he do?
That's the thing. Suddenly he pointed a knife at me.
If he had his ID card then, why would he have pointed a knife at Officer Meekins?
All right, compadre, you win. I guess I can give you this ID card record.
I've got an idea. Maybe I should show this list to other people with IDs here.
That might actually work. Okay, but I guess we can move to the evidence room and investigate. February 23rd, evidence room, sector 3.
It's quiet. The investigation must be over here.
So this is the evidence room. It really is kind of like a graveyard.
Graveyards are supposed to have grass and trees. This feels more like a mortgage.
Nice try, Mr. Wright. You can't scare me.
Whoa!
Sorry, I thought you were a ghost.
I wouldn't recommend going around smacking ghosts on the head, pal. So is it true what I heard? Righto, please. Do I look like a selfish man? Heck, if anyone asks me, sir, can I borrow $50? I give him 50, no problem. So go ahead, investigate the room to your heart's desire. Knock yourself out.
Yeah, it's true.
So Chief of Police Damon. We'll loan anyone $50, even me.
Oh, so that's what you were talking about.
Actually, I was put in charge of the investigation for today.
Just for today?
Boss for a day?
But guess what? You got permission from the chief. So now you're boss for the day.
Gee, thanks.
First of all, you'll want to have this.
So, Detective Gumshoe, you're boss for the day.
That's right. It's an honor. After all, the murder took place right here in the police department.
But if you're a boss, why are you all alone? Where are all your underlings?
They're using yesterday's findings to prepare for tomorrow's trial.
In other words, you got kicked out of the investigation. Again.
I'm adamant, though. I'm going to take control and put this case to rest. In my own evidence locker, pal.
You have a locker in here too, Detective Gumshoe?
Ha, of course. I am a detective after all. They gave me a locker that only I can open, pal.
Only you can open.
I'll always believe in Mr. Edgeworth, no matter what happens.
So, Mr. Edgeworth is with the inquiry community now, right?
They're trying to figure out who's responsible for the mess up in court today.
I see.
I guess this is what you call fate. Mr. Edgeworth just can't get away from that case.
That case?
Yeah, that case. The SL9 incident, of course. That was the beginning of the end for Mr. Edgeworth.
Maybe we can get him to tell us more about the case.
This place is more high-tech than you might think. Every locker is fixed so that only one detective can open it.
Using their ID card?
Well, that's the thing, pal. ID cards can be lost. Why I'm on my third card since entering the force already.
That sounds like a lot.
Yeah, but even I can't lose my own right hand.
Right hand? Oh, you mean your fingerprint?
Exactly, pal. The lock for each locker is coded with a fingerprint. So the only locker we can open is our own.
Funny, they look like normal lockers.
These are the latest model. There's a trick to handles, see?
Handles?
On the other side of the handles is a sensor, and if the wrong person touches it...
Zap! You get a shock.
If that's what happened, my hand would be black and smoking every day. In any case, the locks aren't that obvious. There are even some people on the force that don't know about the fingerprint locks.
Let's explore... Oh, wait, no. Let's explore around real quick.
That's the door we just came in through.
Looks like you don't need an ID card to get out.
I wonder what would happen if Officer Marshall cut the power while we were inside.
Let's hope he remembers we're in here.
Wow, look at this big pile of junk in the corner.
That looks like a car door.
There's a pair of handcuffs attached to the frame.
Maybe the guy they caught was some sort of escape artist and he got away.
Hey, that's one of those human profiles for range testing.
He's been short square in the forehead.
Better him than us.
There's something sticking out of here.
Looks like a shirt. I guess it must be evidence for some case.
I wonder if Detective Gumshoe put this here.
There you go, pal, making me out to be some kind of slob. I'm not responsible for the evidence here. That said, I bet that evidence locker was open recently.
How do you know?
If you leave things hanging out like that, the evidence gets dirty or ripped. The guard checks on that kind of stuff and notifies the detective responsible. How many times have I had him breathing down my neck about some silly evidence?
Sounds like Detective Gumshoe leaves evidence hanging out a lot, too.
I bet he doesn't tuck in his shirt under that trench coat either.
If you're going to talk behind someone's back, don't do it right in front of him, pal.
This place is stuff of evidence. Stuff with dreams.
I'm not so sure about the dreams.
It won't open.
Did you really think it would?
Hey, pal, our security is high-tech around here.
Some sort of bulky equipment is gathering dust here.
What a sorry-looking fishing pole that is.
Oh, that's my personal pole. I never did get around to using it.
Wait, I've seen that somewhere before.
Right, pal, that's the metal detector. One that led to the solving of that case out of Gourd Lake, remember?
Oh, right. Oh, that feels like it was ages ago. And I don't think I've seen this one before.
Oh, that's a bug sweeper. I'm sure it will come in handy in solving some case sooner or later.
That cheap looking box.
You can't judge a person or a machine by their cover. You gotta look at their heart.
Oh, there's blood here.
What's this? Blood.
It's a little worn, but there's definitely a handprint here.
It looks like someone tried to wipe it off.
Mr. Wright, what if there are other blood stains left in the room?
We should use her testing fluid to check it out.
We'll do that in a minute.
What is the saw and paint doing here?
Since the dawn of time, true art has always been a war against oppression.
True art? I noticed that there's blue and yellow paint here.
Perhaps we're witnessing the birthplace of the Blue Badger.
Well, you might say this is my studio.
Here? In the evidence room?
Someone left a glove here, but only one.
Detective Gumshoe, maybe.
There you go, pal, making me out to be some kind of absent-minded detective. That's evidence from the case, you know.
You mean SL9? It does have a tag on it.
Rubber glove.
Wow, someone must have broken something big to make all these pieces.
Detective Gumshoe, perhaps?
Here you go, pal, making me out to be some kind of hooligan.
That's apparently from the case.
The case?
The SL9 incident, pal. See the sticker on one of the pieces there? Another piece of SL9 evidence. I wonder what shape these pieces were in before whatever was broke.
You want to try to put it back together?
Ha! Good luck, pal. That's no job for amateurs. Why, I spent a good 3 hours on that before I had to give up.
That's why I always carry around a tube of glue.
Well, this piece looks like the bottom. Let's try putting the rest in place. It's a vase. There's blood on this one. Okay, that's one piece. That has to be a vase. Covered in blood too. This has to be like some sort of murder weapon.
Huh? Well, I think we did it, but some of the pieces are missing.
Yeah, I got that far too in 2 minutes myself. The problem is finishing it.
Were some pieces stolen?
I bet they were missing to begin with. Still, it doesn't look like the most stable kind of jar.
I kind of understand how it got broken. Look! This one's open, and the red indicator light above the door is lit.
That locker is coated with Detective Goodman's fingerprints. Detective Goodman's locker?
Are you sure it's okay to leave it open like that?
Well, it would be hard to get it open again if we close it. It's empty. They must have taken the contents elsewhere. If you put these pieces together, it makes a jar.
There are two things that bothers me. One, why are some of the pieces missing? Two, doesn't it seem a little unstable? No wonder it broke.
I'll make sure to remember that next time I make a jar.
Okay, I think it's time to use this thing.
I knew it! This is someone's right handprint!
What?
What's the matter, Detective? This locker. It's mine.
It's yours?
Please, you have to help me when they come to take me away. Promise you'll testify that I wouldn't harm a fly. You'll do that for me, won't you, pals?
This is an important clue. I'll jot it down on the floor plans.
I'm counting on you guys. Believe me, you can't trust the police.
What? But you're a detective.
There's bloodstains here.
That must have been one massive pool of blood. Never seen anything like it. I'm not a professional. What's your opinion, Detective?
Pale blue blood. Maybe Detective Goodman was actually an alien.
This proves that something really happened in front of this locker. I'll make a note of it on the floor plans.
Hey, if you didn't want my opinion, you shouldn't have asked.
There's blood here too.
Why am I getting a reaction here?
There's no reason for the murderer to touch this spot if he fled out the door. This just might be something significant.
Hey, that's some pretty amazing stuff you got there, pal.
What, this? It's called luminotesting fluid.
Where'd you get your hands on that?
Huh?
I'd like to get some too. I'll just borrow $50 from the chief.
Where'd you get this, Emma?
I always buy it by mail order.
Well, I'd better jot this down on the floor plans.
There's gotta be more somewhere. Maybe the paint's covered in blood?
That's the victim, Detective Goodman's ID card. He sees everything's cards and secret numbers. I can never relax.
That's only because you always lose your card.
I always forget my secret number too. Scary, huh? My face should be ID enough. What's the world coming to?
Detective Gumshoe rebelled the system.
Hey, that's it. That's the King of Prosecutors Award that Mr. Edgeworth got the other day.
Were you at the award ceremony, Detective Gumshoe?
Of course, pal. I got an award for diligence myself.
Ah, congratulations.
I was wondering why is the award a shield? And why is it broken?
Oh, there's a reason. I'll tell you what it is later.
Apparently he's forgotten.
Found it in Mr. Edgeworth's car. Stabbed with Mr. Edgeworth's knife, huh? What would Chief Prosecutor Sky do? What would drive Chief Prosecutor Sky to do such a thing? Wait, I mean, sure, of course, someone else really did it. Someone who must have had a grudge against Mr. Edgeworth. Detective Goodman's note, and that switchblade knife. I bet Edgeworth was the most surprised of anyone.
Because of the SL9 connection.
That was Mr. Edgeworth's first big case, 2 years ago. That was the first time the world knew Edgeworth was a man to be feared.
But why would evidence from that case turn up now?
I guess it's not over, pal. Maybe there are some loose ends left on that case.
trying to see if there's any other...
That's the photo that Miss Starr took.
Anything you can tell us about it?
That Miss Starr is quite the lady. Why, I remember it was winter. I was 16. She was the only one who ever got me to talk about what happened.
16? That's how old I am now. I wonder what happened.
I wonder if Detective Gumshoe wore a trench coat in high school, too. This is my crowning achievement. My masterpiece, you say. But art is always misunderstood, pal.
Art?
He was dancing proudly on the day of the award ceremony, but there were a lot of people coming and going after the ceremony, so they took the Blue Badger away for a while.
Really? Why?
But he said it was shameful or something like that. Shameful! I toil night and day!
I sympathize with Detective Gumshoe, but I can see why they moved it.
Now that was a bloody violent case.
Violent?
So it was a murder? A serial killing.
A serial killing? Maybe I don't want to get involved in this case after all.
But the killer made a mistake, and Mr. Edgeworth built his case around that to nab him.
And this was 2 years ago.
That put Mr. Edgeworth right in the spotlight, and started the rumor mill.
Rumors? About forged evidence?
It was supposed to be all clear and cleaned up with the transferal the other day. It was the last job he ever did. Detective Goodman, that is.
Huh? What do you mean?
Detective Goodman was the detective in charge of the SL9 incident, see?
So, that switchblade knife.
The victim took the knife out of the evidence locker himself. The tag says SL911. I guess this is another piece of evidence from that case.
You know, I never did care for the word tag. It's confusing.
Huh? What's so confusing about that?
Do you know how many other words sounded like bag, gag, nag, lag, zag?
Zag? Is that a word?
Do you challenge me?
What are we playing? A word game show? Game now? Let me just make sure there's no other bloodstains or whatnot. Because like I said, there's gotta be more evidence. And I know this is taking me a while to finish this episode. Wait, what if I showed him the records? I still have that too. I haven't shown him that yet. Could you take a look at this? This is the ID card record of the people who came in here on the day of the stabbing.
I heard the rumors. So it was Goodman who came in here at the time of the murder. Whoa!
What is it?
That second number.
It's not your ID number, is it, Detective Gumshoe?
Mr. Edgeworth.
What?
The second number on this list belongs to Mr. Edgeworth.
What?
Why would Edgeworth have come to the evidence room?
Hey, pal, look at the time.
Was there something you needed to be going to?
It's just that Mr. Edgeworth's inquiry community should be letting out soon. I'm going to go give them my report for the day. It might help you, you know.
Report? You mean the note written on the back of that flyer?
The one that says nothing but no problems. Hey, it's Mr. Edgeworth we're talking about. I'm sure he can use a report like this. I believe in him. Who needs enemies when you've got friends like Detective Gumshoe? I'm off, pal. Later. I should probably see what Edgeworth has to say, too.
Okay, I'm only going to do a few more things in this episode, and then after that, that should be it. Because this episode is going way longer than expected. I guess it's because I'm so curious and trying to get all the evidence. It's you! The bellboy from episode 2! If you guys don't remember, the bellboy was actually from the second episode when we had to figure out who killed Mia Fey.
Ah, yes, my apologies. Oh, it's you. Have we met somewhere? Huh? Mr. Edgeworth, I beg your leave so long. Is Edgeworth here?
They're standing by the window, a teacup in his hand.
Right. He has the hotel bring him tea service?
Mr. Edgeworth, you're back from the district prosecutor's office inquiry.
I am. By the way, Detective Gumshoe was looking for you.
Oh, wait.
I gave Phoenix Edgeworth's voice, by the way.
By the way, Detective Gumshoe was looking for you.
Yes, he brought me the latest information, it seems.
Really? Was it helpful?
Apparently a new French restaurant is opening near here. I think he was trying to console me somehow.
The real info is on the other side, Edgeworth.
Poor Mr. Edgeworth. I think this whole thing is really taking a toll on him.
So how did the inquiry committee go?
Actually, they decided to treat this not as a case of concealing evidence, but as a communications error during the investigation.
Concealing evidence?
Yes, apparently there are some who believe that I concealed evidence. They gave me a warning. You were lucky this time. Again.
Again?
I've heard them say that so many times, ever since that case 2 years ago.
Are you okay for the trial tomorrow?
Well, I'm still the presiding prosecuting attorney. However,
something happened?
They gave control of the investigation over to the police department.
The police department?
Yes. Any further investigation for this case will be directed by the chief of police, Damon. I can do nothing but wait for his results.
I see.
Why, I ask you? Why? All along, I've done only what I believe is right. I have nothing to be ashamed of. But still.
Wow, I've never seen him this out of sorts.
Oh, wait. I figured I'd be telling you about this sooner or later.
He must be talking about his father's murder in that elevator. Okay, Edgeworth, why don't you tell me about it? Tell me the truth.
Hang on, let me just click it again.
I know you. You've probably got a hold of some information already, right?
It all has to do with that case you were on, the SL9 incident, and some dark suspicion you were wrapped up in.
You are the man who revived the worst memory of my life. I figured I'd be telling you about this sooner or later.
He must be talking about his father's murder in that elevator. Okay, Edgeworth, why don't you tell me about it? Tell me the truth.
The SL9 incident was a heinous serial killing case. The head of the investigation was the deputy chief of police at the time, Damon Gant.
That wacky old coot was involved in the case 2 years ago, too, then.
He was a top officer, and it was my first time working with him. I was nervous.
Wow, you get nervous too, Mr. Edgeworth?
What I want to know is why was a deputy chief of police on the investigation?
In truth, I used slightly more extreme methods than normal. We were dealing with a vicious murderer. If I let him go, the blood would be on my hands. We won our guilty verdict and the killer was executed.
Wait, you didn't...
Of course not. I didn't touch the evidence. Yes, I will do anything in my power to win a trial. However, I do have a code and I follow it faithfully.
All right, I better check this now.
As I was saying, What's this? A record of ID card usage.
Edgeworth, you went into the evidence room that day, didn't you? Just before the incident occurred, no less.
Yes, that's true.
Why? Mr. Edgeworth?
Please don't look at me like that. I was asked to go by Chief Gant, no less.
The chief of police?
He wanted evidence for a case that wrapped up half a year ago. He told me he wanted me to keep it here in the prosecutor's office.
But it was solved, right? It would have to be if the evidence was already filed.
The chief is never one to explain himself. In any case, on the day of the stabbings, I brought this back here.
Can I ask what kind of case it was?
I can't say. It really has nothing to do with the current case.
Now I'm curious about this other case. I better make a note of it.
Screwdriver.
Stubborn as always. I told you, this has nothing to do with the current case. By the way, Emma, the chief prosecutor wanted to know something.
My sister? What?
If you were still studying forensic science.
Huh? Yes, of course. Why, just today, Mr. Wright and I were using this.
Minio testing fluid. Well then, you might have use for this.
Aluminum powder for taking fingerprints.
It's better chemically treated for better adhesives.
For me? Are you sure? We are the enemy, you know.
I've no say in today's investigation. Do as you will.
Edgeworth, I'm really...
No need to thank me. Here, take your powder and these fingerprints files for everyone involved.
Thanks. How about giving these to Detective Gumshoe as well?
Well, let's get going. One last investigation.
Right. I do seem to remember seeing a suspicious handprint somewhere.
Angel's gone. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm close to the end of the investigation. Let me save real quick so I won't lose progress.
Our investigation turned up a suspicious handprint.
Here. In this blood on the detective's evidence locker.
Let's use a secret weapon we just borrowed.
Right, let's get started. First, choose a finger.
A finger?
Each finger leaves behind a slightly different imprint. So let's choose the finger that will have left behind the clearest print.
I really can't tell the difference at a glance.
Quit procrastinating and choose a finger. Okay, now it's time to check for prints. Let me show you how it's done.
Emma's starting to get that sparkle in her eyes.
First, we sprinkle the aluminum powder around.
Huh? How do you do that?
With the X button. See?
Ah, it looks like that did the trick.
The aluminum powder adheres completely to the print. Once the powder is well spread, just blow away the excess.
Huh? How do I do that?
With the triangle button. Exciting, I know. Imagine you're blowing out the candles on a birthday cake. See?
Wow, that looks like fun. It might take some getting used to, though.
It's fine. It won't go up your nose or anything. You just pour the powder on thick and blow away the extra. Those are the basics of fingerprinting, Miss Wright.
I guess I better give it a try.
I don't know if this is working or not. But I don't see anything in this one. Maybe I'll try the ones that are missing. Ooh. Maybe if I spray it all over the place, maybe I might be able to find some clues. I don't know why I'm doing this, but I'm hoping this works. Oh, look what I did. Oh no, the screen's broken.
Ah, you did it! You found one!
But this looks nothing like a fingerprint.
Now that you mention it, I guess it doesn't.
What does it mean?
I think it means we're out of luck.
Out of luck?
The person who left this handprint must have worn gloves.
Don't tell me we've been wasting our time here.
Hey, calm down. That's just the way it goes sometimes with scientific investigations. But it does seem a shame. While we're at it, why don't we look for other prints?
Other prints?
Looking at the locker door again, closely. It seems like there are fingerprints outside the bloody handprint as well. Let's see if we can find a clear print.
Fingerprints outside the blood.
Okay, here we go. That's a big fingerprint, but nothing happened. Maybe if I just cover the entire screen. Just covered it entirely. See if that works. Okay.
Yeah, a print so clear it's dazzling.
Dazzling?
Anyway, this print took a lot of effort to find. Let's match it up right away.
So we're not done yet. This is quite a process.
Well, there's no point in finding a fingerprint. And not knowing who the owner is, right?
I guess she's right.
Look at the fingerprint data we got from Mr. Edgeworth. And point out the person you think left these prints.
Huh? How am I supposed to know who it was?
I can make a pretty good guess. The bloody handprint and the fingerprints are in different places, right? That means that the prints probably don't have anything to do with our case. So whose fingerprints would we most likely find on this evidence locker?
Oh my goodness. Okay, we gotta choose. Marshall? Okay.
No match.
Come on, how am I supposed to guess who these are?
Isn't it obvious? Something's wrong.
I was just thinking, if you're so sure who it is, why don't you match the fingerprints?
Mr. Wright, I was doing this for your benefit, so you learn.
Fine. Let me think, who could have left these prints?
Okay, so Jake Marshall's out of the question. I'm gonna go with a crazy guess, but let's try Damon. Okay, so it wasn't Damon either. Okay. Right now I'm just trying out people. Let's try Mike Meekins. Okay, so it wasn't Mike. I'll try Goodman in a minute. I first want to try out every other person. Let's try Angel. Okay, so Angel had nothing to do with the case. Okay, so Angel is proven innocent. Okay, so that's so far a couple people out of the way. So we know these guys are innocent. Let's do Lana. Okay, so Lana had a comparison of 2. Okay. It's not Emma. So it's gotta be Goodman. Wasn't Goodman either? Okay, let's try... Actually, let's try Emma. Okay, so it wasn't Emma. Okay. That leaves Gumshoe. Oh. It's Gumshoe's fingerprint.
Aha! So these prints belong to Detective Gumshoe. Something wrong, Mr. Wright? You gave me this so what look.
I guess it's probably because I was thinking, so what?
Okay, so we came up with nothing this time, but there's always next time. Sometimes you hit, sometimes you miss. You gotta roll with the punches, Mr. Wright.
Thanks for the sympathy. Wait, if I remember correctly, there was one of her handprint in this room. Let's check it out.
Oh yeah, that's right.
This is where we got aluminum fluid reaction, right?
Right! There was a handprint in here. Okay, want to try using this?
There's go her eyes sparkling again. Okay, let's check for prints.
That's the spirit. Oh, but I have to warn you about something first.
What?
The area with the blood was wiped away, right?
We only ended up finding it using chemical means.
Any prints in that area will have been wiped away too.
Oh, right. So that means no prints.
Would you say the probability of your hypothesis is high?
Don't ask me!
Anyway, we must try to find prints that weren't wiped away.
Prints other than the ones left by the bloody hand.
Well, let's first check. Oh. Okay. So we gotta find other prints. So we gotta find the rest of the hand fingerprints. Okay, I know this video is a very long video. This is probably gonna be the only time I'm gonna make this a super long video. Because I am like this close to figuring out who could possibly be the culprit. So whoever's fingerprint is on that locker is the culprit behind this case. who could have killed Bruce Goodman and try to frame Lana and Mike. Because right now at this point, it could be anybody. So that means Angel, Meekins, Damon, Jake, and Lana are not out of the woods yet. We still gotta figure out whose fingerprints on these. And I think once after I'm done with this whole fingerprint scenario thing, hopefully, then I will wrap up the episode. I know I've been doing this episode for about, like, almost 3 hours now. Jeez, this is gonna be a long video. But, like I said, a lot of ground is being covered. Okay. Now let's see. Okay, it's time to compare it. Let's start with Jake. Oh. It matched.
Hey, these fingerprints say...
Whose are they? Whose? Is it someone I know?
It's Officer Marshall.
Huh? Officer Jake Marshall? That's gotta be a coincidence. He's not involved in the crime.
Emma, this is decidedly different from Detective Gumshoe's prints. The luminary reaction. The blood and the fingerprints are in the same place.
Oh.
So we have Jake Marshall's fingerprints on a white blood stain.
But why would Officer Marshall...
It looks like our investigation is finally turning up some results.
I guess this is what you'd call decisive evidence. I don't believe it.
To be continued. So Jake Marshall... Is he the one that killed him? Trial former. February 24th, 9:41 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 2. Okay. Oh boy, that was a long episode. Okay, Firstly, I do apologize that this episode was super duper long, like getting close to 3 hours. The only reason why I kept this episode going on much longer was because I wanted to find every piece of evidence that we need for this trial. That's why I kind of extended the episode this long. I gotta say, there's a lot writing on the wall. So first of all, we met a new character, Damon, who is the chief police in the police department. And then we got mind blown that Goodman was actually killed in the evidence room and not in the parking lot. So that means Lana Skye could still be proven innocent. And Angel and Jake were trying to work together to solve the SL9 incident. But it looks like Jake Marshall could be the true culprit because we found his fingerprint in the evidence room. So I knew Jake Marshall was one of the people I predicted that could be the killer. It was either him or Angel. So right now we gotta solve this trial and figure out what is going on. Okay, and this video was super duper long. So I'm gonna wrap this up right here because, like I said, this was a very long episode. Holy crud, we have a lot going on in the next episode. And I'm not sure if the next part is going to be the last part for this first game. Please don't spoil it. Please don't spoil it. Because I want to say that Jake Marshall could be the true culprit behind Bruce Goodman's death. But we'll have to wait and see. I don't know exactly how the next part is going to go with this. I guess we'll find out if Jake Marshall is the killer behind Goodman's death. I guess we'll see what happens. Anyway, guys, that is going to do it for this very, very long part. That is going to do it for part 15 of this Let's Play of the Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy. I do apologize if I got some of the names wrong. I do apologize if I gave some of the characters bad voice acting voices. And I do apologize that I said some words wrong. I probably already said that. Anyway, and I do apologize again that this episode was super long, but like I said, I wanted to get the investigation part done and over with, so that way I wouldn't have to worry about splitting it up in a separate episode. Catch my drift? So, alright. Anyway, in the next part, we're going to be doing the third part of the trial, and we'll find out if Jake Marshall is the killer or not. And we'll also hopefully find out more information about the SL9 incident. Who knows, maybe there's someone else that could have been involved. But we found so much evidence, but we could be reaching the end. Anyway, guys, you do not want to miss what's going to happen on the next part of the Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy. And I guess that's it. It's almost 11 o'clock at night. Jeez Louise, I can't believe I let this episode go on for almost 3 hours. And I'm going to end it right here. So, like I said, in the next part, we're going to be tackling on the trial yet again. We're going to be trying to find out if Jake Marshall had something to do with Bruce Goodman's murder. We'll have to wait and see. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, this is Xenonite XE6. Hope you guys have a great night, and I will see you guys in part 16 of my Let's Play of the Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy, and I will see you guys in the next video. Until next time, farewell, have a good night.